We all know Root Riders got nerfed earlier this week. 500 less hit points and half the DPS. Now me, I'm still using Root Riders and 3-starring. I'm perfect thus far in CWL. Root Riders are still usable, but some people are panicking. So today, I'm going to give you guys a few alternative army selections instead of Root Riders, just in case Root Riders aren't working for you for whatever reason. I mean, I'm using the triple overgrowth and getting plenty of 3-stars in CWL and Legends League, but just in case you want to try something else, here are some alternative armies for you that aren't Root Riders. The first army we're going to talk about is Electro Dragons. Steven has been having quite a bit of success with this during CWL. Whether he's zapping out sweepers or using rocket balloons to funnel, the Electric Dragons are leading him to a perfect week thus far. So he is 4 for 4 in CWL using nothing but Electro Dragons. Hero equipment looks like this: Vamp Stash Giant Gauntlet on the King, Queen has Frozen Arrow and Viz, the Warden has Healing Tome, Eternal Tome, which I thought that was interesting. I thought maybe you would go with the Rage Gem, but he's going with the Healing Tome, and then the Hog Puppet and Haste Vial on the RC. And pretty much it's standard E-Drag. Send it all in, send a battle blimp up the middle for the Town Hall, and then the heroes are going to do the work around the outside. With the Electro Dragons, you're pretty much just trying to gut out as much of the middle and as many of those like key defenses as possible, and then heroes are so strong they're able to come through and sweep out the rest of the base. I've also seen other variations of this using a Super Archer blimp or even Yeti clone blimp with the Electro Dragons, but I think I like this version the best, where it's just classic E-Drags with rages and freezes and a simple blimp for the Town Hall. I think this is very effective, and it should be able to lead you to some 3-stars. I mean, we saw E-Drags doing some really positive things even before kind of Root Riders took off. So E-Drag's a classic, easy army to use, and I think this one could help you out quite a bit. So let's go ahead and let's speed through here a little bit, turn this up to 2x. Like I said, you get the E-Drags through the middle, then the heroes are going to sweep through and take out the rest. The Vamp Stash on the King is really nice just to kind of keep him up, give him a little bit of extra life. His King does get targeted by the mono here, but no big deal. He's still got Queen and Royal Champion to work through here and finish his base off. RC goes through with the ability, and then she's going to have enough just to sweep right on through here and finish off the base. So a little bit of a closer call, but I think the basics of Electro Dragons should be fine for you. I think this is an easy army. I think a lot of people are already looking at this army, but if you're looking for an easy alternative, E-Drags could be it. There we go. 3-star for Steven. Again, he's perfect in CWL with this. And speaking of dragons, I've seen a lot of players using different various dragon comps. Regular dragons with balloons, usually with a flinger, but other Weasel went with a siege barracks here. But this one was really cool. So he's going to throw the barracks in there to kind of funnel. But watch what he does with the Queen. Throws in Queen with the giant arrow to set off that invis and also get some of those defenses down. Now, if his healers would have stayed on the Queen a little bit longer, she might have been better. But she does just kind of go into the mono and kind of get worked out. Maybe if he ran her from the bottom, could have been better. But then he's just going to run all of these dragons right up the middle. And honestly, it's going to be fine. I was a little bit worried about this one because he didn't like send up siege at the Town Hall or anything. He just used that barracks for a funnel and didn't get crazy value out of it, if we're going to be completely honest. But he does get the super minions to work through there, get that air defense out. Taking a look at hero equipment, we got Giant Gauntlet Rage. We got the Queen with the Archer Puppet and Giant Arrow. We saw that Healing Tome, Eternal Tome, and then Hog Puppet and Haste Vial on the Royal Champion. So this one, I don't know. This one was a little bit sketchy, but I think dragon variants are making a comeback. Not necessarily just this straight up dragon variant, but we've seen a lot of different dragons being tested and used here in Mad Ram, and also by a lot of different players. So maybe E-Drags aren't your thing. Maybe Roots aren't your thing. Dragons, a classic strategy. Dragons are pretty good. But next we're going to hop into some ground attacks as well, just in case you do like those ground attacks. We still got some more for you. Just bringing in the RC to finish this one off. Look at this. Still so many dragons up. That's kind of crazy how many dragons he has up. Also, this one was quicker as well. That's what you like to see. You definitely want to see a quicker attack when you're working through here with the dragon. So a nice one there from Other Weasel. And another one from Other Weasel is using Super Bowler Smash. We saw Super Bowler Smash kind of a lot early on Town Hall 16 and late into Town Hall 15. So like that transition from 15 to 16. Super Bowlers were kind of it, and this Recall Super Bowler army is just really fun to watch. This one was a little bit close, not gonna lie, and I wish we had more replays because he's been testing it and using it a lot in Legends League as well. He's been kind of messing around with a lot of different armies. He's one that kind of I love Weasel, he knows this, but he's one that kind of just didn't commit to the Root Riders, and he's kind of looking for an out to try other stuff, if I'm being honest. Sorry, Weasel, just throwing you under the bus a little bit there. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it when he's 3-starring, you know? If you're 3-starring in CWL, nothing wrong with that, guys, right? Like, that's the whole point. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna use a Queen Walk to set up the funnel here. He's got the Flinger on the opposite side, and then he's gonna recall this Queen and send her in with all the bowlers. Let's quickly take a look at the equipment. Giant Gauntlet Rage, Frozen Arrow, and Viz. Whenever you're doing a Queen charge, Frozen Arrow is really nice. Healing Tome, Eternal Tome, and then Hog Puppet Haste on the RC. So once he gets that multi-Archer Tower down, he's going to go ahead and recall, and all he's going to do is just place her outside. That way he can control her a little bit and get those healers in and just let them work through. So again, this one does get a little bit dicey, and I was wondering how he was going to get the Town Hall. I kind of almost thought he was going to go right up the middle with this one, right towards the Town Hall, but he kind of goes around the top edge, which actually ends up working out pretty decently for him. But again, this one does get a little bit close as we work through here. So the main thing with this is you want to keep those healers and the bowlers and everything kind of raged up. With those healers are healing the bowlers and just working through there and just keeping the power going. Those bowlers can deal out massive amounts of damage. However, they are a little bit squishy. With 3,000 hit points, they can get taken down, especially like in this kind of area of the base where you have the Town Hall on you, you got Expos on you, you have the Mono on you. It can be a really lethal part of the base for the bowlers. So it's really important to keep those rages in there. This is an army that takes a little bit of practice. It's not one you can usually just pick up and run with. You gotta usually do a little bit of practice with this one, but it can be really, really good. He does a really good job of using or holding on to the Royal Champion until he needs it and knows where to deploy it. Does have those Yetis coming out of the siege barracks, and from there, again, a little bit closer, but I thought this was a pretty solid hit, to be honest. Queen breaks through. She's going to finish gutting out the core right there. Remember, she already used ability, and then pretty much swagging out the RC. Oh, wait, he did swag out the RC. That's why it was closer. I didn't even realize that when I watched this replay earlier. He basically swagged the RC out. That's crazy. The ground army I was playing around with. Now, I'm just going to stay with Root Riders. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to stay with triple overgrowth Root Riders, but this was one I was messing around with before when the witches, remember, I think the witches got a new level. This is when I started messing around with the Super Witch Smash. Now, you can use this with Fireball, but I don't know. When I use the Fireball, I tend to like kind of overdo it and just get too much going on. So I just went with the straight up Warden Walk into Super Witches, and it worked out pretty decently. This is a tricky little base to go at. We're going to go at the side. Sometimes with these box bases, you can kind of go away from the Town Hall and finish at the Town Hall. But I kind of want to just take on these two different rage compartments one at a time. So that's why I decided to go in this path. But it's basically the same thing as the Super Bowler Smash. You're going to throw in your Super Witches, let them work. The Super Witches are so beefy, man. They are so beefy, and you get those big boys out in front, and now they summon those big boys just a little bit faster with the latest buff to the Witches. So it's a really nice thing in here. I like Super Witch Smash quite a bit. I like Super Bowler Smash. Honestly, like these ground smash attacks, aside from Roots, I think they're still going to be valid. I think right now is a really good time at Town Hall 16, because even if you don't like Roots and stuff, there's so many armies that are going to work out for you. There are so many armies in Clash Clans that are good. Now, one thing I did was I threw the Spiky Ball, my king. You saw it just go off right there. I just wanted to kind of test it out. I haven't really used Spiky Ball. Queen with Frozen Arrow and Viz. Warden with Healing Tome, Eternal Tome, and then Haste and Hog on the RC. Again, you could try this with the Fireball if you can get a Warden Walk into a Fireball compartment, maybe Fireball with Rage Gem, but I felt like just a classic little army setup here was really, really nice. You see, we pretty much just have that one compartment left. We got super minions out of the clan castle, and the witches stay back enough that it's fine. Now, we did have a little bit of issue where this witch right here stole a couple healers, but honestly, it worked out a little bit because she was able to kind of just tank up and stay through there. RC goes to ability, just works through here, and then we're going to finish this one off. Now, our last army is a crazy one. I don't know if it's one that everyone's going to be able to pick up and use, but it's a fun one, and I had to show it off because, I don't know, I just liked it a lot. So there's some nice, easy alternative. Air and ground. Dragons, E-Drags, Super Bowlers, Super Witches. Super easy armies that you can use in case you're not bought into the Roots, in case you think Roots suck. They don't. Most of the clans still using Root Riders. Most of the clans doing pretty well with them. Root Riders are fine. It's just, I don't know, for some reason people overreacted to this nerf. All right, the last replay I want to show off is wild. So it's Rocket Loons with a crazy Warden Walk, and this one It looks sketchy, but it's under control the whole time. Looking at the hero equipment, we got Giant Gauntlet, Rage Vial, Archer Puppet, and Invis Vial on the Queen. Regular old Queen equipment. We do have Fireball on the Warden with the Rage Gem, also the Jelly on the Warden as well, so he'll target those defense, and then Hog Puppet and Haste Vial on the RC. So again, this one's just crazy. This one is just crazy here. So he's gonna start off with a couple rocket loons here, setting the funnel, setting the pathing, but it's going to be a Warden Fireball. Check this out. So he invises there, then he's gonna go ahead and send in the Warden, and then he's gonna Fireball with a double quake and just take out all that stuff. Yeah, I love watching a good Fireball in action. Like, it is so good, man. So good. Moonin is just gonna work through here. And he's been doing this all week. I think he's 3 for 4, and his miss was pretty close. So, I don't know. He's always done like some creative, fun things. Now, the Warden does get in a little bit of trouble here from the mono, but he does a good job managing it. He stays right on top of it, and that's what you look for. Look at that Coco Loon taking out that Seeking Airmine. That's 100% what you want. Man, this one's just so cool. I've seen him do this a little bit more where the King and Queen are going in a little bit earlier and working. The Flinger's in a little bit earlier, but on this one, he was just kind of setting up the pathing up top here. He's going to use the King to tank for that Flame Flinger here momentarily. Warden's just working through all those Ice Golems. Baby Dragon's just going to set the pathing for the King to kind of walk around and tank this Expo right here. So King's going to get a range to tank the Expo. Nice invis there on the Warden so the Warden stays protected from the Monolith. He knew that the Warden was going into a heavy traffic area, so he was ready to use those spells. And that's what you got to do is, like, if you're doing something like this, you got to be ready to use those spells. Watch the King with the Giant Gauntlet raged up here. He's just going to clear this whole compartment out here. Just clears out the whole compartment. He does go to Phoenix so that Bow locks onto the Flame Flinger, but the King cleans out that whole compartment. The Queen's coming through here. They just kind of dissecting the base little by little. Again, this isn't like an easy army that everyone's just going to go out and use and be super successful with. This one's a little bit tricky. But I thought this one was fun. I thought this one was fun. And technically, that's an alternative to the Root Riders. If you can practice it, get it down, understand what you're doing with it. I mean, he's going at this anti-2 base right here, which these are really annoying. Queen comes in here. She's going to go ahead and she's going to take out the King right there. It's nice. Look at this. Warden's still walking. He's got RC coming in from the bottom just to help out and get through that Town Hall. Just really well executed. Good patience on this one. And he throw in the cleanup behind that RC so he can get those last few buildings down. And the Warden's on the Town Hall, Queen's there as well. And then the RC with ability, just gonna get through this stuff. Crazy attack, man. Crazy attack here from Moonin. It was a little bit sketchy watching that Town Hall go down last, but it's a nice little 3-star. So there's another option for you. So just in case you guys are afraid of trying the Root Riders or you think they're not gonna work for you, there's 5 options that are alternatives to the Root Rider army. Hopefully this one was helpful. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have our Town Hall 13 upgrade priority guide coming out tomorrow. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. You guys have a great day. Keep on clash bashing.